After leaving F1 at the end of 2018, Fernando Alonso makes his big return in 2021. However, it's uncertain what level he'll be performing at. Will he be up to speed straight away, or will he find himself off the pace like Michael Schumacher did in 2010? In this video, I will explain what to expect from the double world champion for this year. He's been very active during his time out. He's completed his WEC duties, he went back to Indy and even had a crack at the Dakar Rally and Indy 500. On top of all this, he started work at Renault towards the end of last year, testing the 2018 and 2020 cars, so he should be familiar with the team by now. With a cut in downforce, those miles in the 2018 car could come in handy given that also has less downforce than the 2020 car. Besides, if you consider how quickly Nico Hülkenberg and George Russell got up to speed during their sub appearances, Alonso should have no problems readjusting to life in F1. So, if he is indeed at his previous level or close to it, what kind of performance will we see from him? As we saw with Stoffel Van Dorn, Alonso is a teammate killer, so Esteban Ocon will surely have to up his game to compete with the Spaniard. If we look at how both drivers have compared to their previous teammates, in qualifying, Alonso's record is outstanding, with huge pace advantages over Van Dorn, Raikkonen and Massa for instance. It was a closer fight with Jenson Button, who was able to match Alonso during 2015, but the following year, Fernando was the dominant force of the team. Looking at Ocon, he lacked around 0.2 to Daniel over the course of the season, so if he performs like that, he'll find himself playing second fiddle more often than not. However, it must be noted that he turned a pace deficit into a pace advantage over Perez, so he'll be looking to do the same for 2021. On Sundays, Alonso gets the very most out of every car he drives. We only have to look at 2018 to see that, where he somehow managed 50 points in the car that wasn't anywhere near the pace of the upper midfield. Esteban, on the other hand, has never outscored his teammate before, and even in 2018, when he had an advantage in quali, he failed to make use of that on Sundays. In fact, Alonso outscored Ocon in 2018, albeit by 1 point, but in a car that wasn't anywhere near the same level over the season. So overall, at Alpine, I expect the teammate battle to be pretty similar to what happened at Renault in 2020. Maybe Esteban will be closer in qualifying since he was on an upward trend towards the end of the season, but Alonso will probably have the measure on Sundays just like Daniel. But what about their car? It's no secret that Alpine has been focusing on the 2022 regulations for a while now, so don't expect the performance of their car to be too different from 2020. With some good fortune, they managed 3 podiums, but were constantly fighting at the front of the midfield with Danny Rick, so there's no reason to suggest that Alonso couldn't do the same. However, with McLaren now having Mercedes engines and Mercedes and Red Bull just having such a big pace advantage, the chances of getting a podium on merit are really low. That being said, if the opportunity does arise, there are few better to capitalise on it than Fernando. The big issue everyone talks about with Alonso is his attitude. He's been known to burn bridges in the past, famously at Ferrari where they ended on horrible terms, and most recently with Honda, which still affected him to this day since they prevented him from driving a Honda-powered car at the Indy 500. However, he has stated that those experiences outside F1 has taught him the value of teamwork, and the fact that he was so keen to start working with the team so early indicates we'll see a new and improved Fernando outside the car. At the end of the season, I predict Alpine will take 5th in the standings, just like 2020. I don't believe they'll be on McLaren's level for this year now that they've got Mercedes engines, but instead of being behind Racing Point, I reckon Ferrari will be much stronger and take 4th with Leclerc and Sainz in the car, provided they make steps with the power unit as they claim they've done compared to last year. I can see Alpine and Aston Martin fighting it out for P5, both having multiple world champions in their cars and solid second drivers. For the drivers' standings, I'm going with Ocon P12 and Alonso P8. Alonso may find himself at the front of the midfield if all is fine, but with a shifting focus to the 2022 regs, I don't think they'll sustain a challenge for best of the rest. With Esteban, I predict a slight improvement in performance compared to 2020, but still behind his teammate. So that's my take on Fernando Alonso for 2021. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.